Well, happy Monday to everybody. Hope your Monday is going well. We are at the first game of the June 23rd, 1987 schedule. Oh, I got a phone call I have to take. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was hoping that would come later, but it came earlier than expected. So got that out. At least it's out of the way now. So we're ready to move on. Good morning, Dan. If I'd have waited like an extra minute before I started the stream, you would never have noticed that. So just wait. Timing works out sometimes. So before I was interrupted, we are at the first game of June 23rd, 1987 at Fenway Park between the Red Sox and the Brew Crew. And of course, Fenway Park is a hitter-friendly venue as the singles are 19 for lefties, 15 for righties, home runs 7 for lefties, 10 for righties. This is game number 476 overall in the replay, and the Red Sox actually won this game real world 9-5. And of course, the Red Sox won the first game of the series as Roger Clemens pitched a complete game. So sorry about that, Dan. I hit the actual mute on my little thing here. I accidentally hit the little mute button. If I hit this button here, when it turns red, you hear no sound. Now I'm talking and you are hearing something. So if my foot accidentally hits this when it's on the floor, that's what happened. But thank you for letting me know, because that way I know that something has happened, because I'm not aware of it until somebody tells me. All right, so with that in mind, Clear for the Brewers and Gardner for the Red Sox are unavailable because they went 3 innings in the previous game. So we have Jeff Sellers and Juan Nieves for each of the teams. Right-hander Jeff Sellers, a marginal player at best, for the Red Sox in 1987. Jeff Sellers was 7-8 with a 5.28 ERA, so not very good. Bring up the Strat-O-Matic computer and get his numbers on how he's doing on the replay. Hello, Dr. D. Let's see here. Sellers is 2-3 with a 5.29 ERA, so can't get much closer. 5.28 and 5.29 on the replay. He's pitched 34 innings, 47 hits allowed, 14 walks, 30 strikeouts. He is a -1 when it comes to holding runners, so that might help him a little bit. Wild pitch is 3 and balk is a 0. Milwaukee comes to the game in first place in the East, 45-21. Boston near the bottom at 28-41. And leading off for the Brew Crew will be third baseman Paul Molitor. No real big, as I'm looking at the lineups, there's no off-the-wall entries in the lineup. I know, let's see here. Yeah, Glenn Braggs, I believe, is on the injury list, so because he's not on the roster. And so they moved Deere from left field to right field, and they've been using Felder in left field. That's kind of been their thing here lately. So right now, it is Paul Molitor who will lead things off. Molitor on the replay hitting .362, 8 homers, 43 driven in at .353 real world. Of course, before the first pitch of the game, it is almost mandatory to have the first sip. In fact, in my mind, it is mandatory to have that first sip. Yeah, Dr. D, for some reason I just felt like I had to do something different. And with all the craze of the AI, it was just my rebuttal to all that stuff. So I figured if everybody else is swimming downstream, I'll swim upstream just to be different. So, all right, no knock against them. It's just not my thing. So if they want to do that, you know, all the fancy AI stuff, more power to them. Hope they enjoyed it. And I like watching them do it. It's just not for me. All right, here's the pitch to Molitor. 5-8, and that's going to be a double 1-12. So right off the bat, Paul Molitor, a leadoff double, and this could be a slugfest with this pitching matchup. Although Nieves is pretty good, but Sellers is not. All right, here's Robin Yount. Yount hitting .314 on the replay, 15 homers, 58 driven in at .312 real world. 6'4", and that's a catcher X, so we're going to Owen. Sullivan. He's a 3E1. 3 and a 10 might be a chance for a pass ball or a wild pitch. Let's check out the old chart here. 3 and a 10 is a P/F, so possible that there could be a pass ball here. On the E1, there's no problem there. But go to P/F, and we're looking at the wild pitch rating of the pitcher to see if a pass ball has occurred. His wild pitch rating is only a 3, so maybe he will prevent the pass ball because he's got better control. And he does. So since there is no pass ball on the P/F, it's just going to be a foul out to the catcher. So Sullivan will make the play. And there's one away. Hello, Jeremiah. Good to see you. So the foul out for one away, and that brings up Cecil Cooper, the designated hitter. Cooper hitting .218 on the replay, 8 homers, 25 driven in at .248 in the real season. And that's a 6-8, and that's going to be a single to right field. We'll see if Molitor wants to try to score. If Evans was in right, he probably wouldn't try it, but with Benziger, he's just a -1 arm. He may very well try it. It'd be a 1-17 because he's not being held, makes him an 18. So it'll be a 1-17, and they're going to send him. Cooper, since he runs at less than a 13, will hold at first base. So the play is going to be at the plate, and it's a 1-17. And he's in there. So it's RBI single for Cecil Cooper. And the Brew Crew lead at 1-0. That is the 26th RBI for Cecil Cooper on the season. He had 36 real world. Brew Crew lead 1-0. And here's Rob Deere. That's a 1-4 for Deer, and that's a strikeout. So on that last play, if Evans had been in right field with his -4 arm, that may have either deterred him or he may have been out trying, but he probably would have deterred him, probably would have held at third base with only one out, and then now you hit the strikeout, and now Surhoff, you get him out of the inning, you get away with no runs allowed. But for some reason, I have no idea what in the world McNamara was thinking, taking a Gold Glove potential right fielder and putting him at first base where he flounders, and putting a rookie in right field. Why he didn't put Benziger in first and put Evans in right is beyond me. Whatever. I guess he knew what he was doing, or thought he knew what he was doing. All right, so the strikeout of Deer, 2 away, brings up B.J. Surhoff, the catcher. It is a clutch situation. No, it's not a clutch situation. Runner at first, so it's not a clutch situation. Just a regular at bat for Surhoff. He's hitting .329 on the replay. 6 homers, 25 driven in. He hit .299 real world. That's a 5-9, and that is a fly to right field, and that will end the inning. But the Brew Crew get a run on the RBI single from Cecil Cooper. And we go to the bottom of the first. Milwaukee 1, Boston nothing, or Boston coming to bat, rather. And Juan Nieves. Juan 19th Nieves breakdown was the Chris Berman nickname for him. So Juan Nieves in 1987 was 14-8 with a 4.88 ERA in the real season. As we look at the computer to get the updated stats on how he's doing on his replay, he checks in at 7-3 with a 3.74 ERA, 84 innings pitched, 79 hits, 37 walks, and 76 strikeouts. Leading off for the Red Sox, they got the 3 killer bees to start the top of the lineup: Burks, Barrett, and Boggs. So leading off is Ellis Burks. He's hitting .310 on the replay, 9 homers, 23 driven in. Hit .272 real world. .310 against the left-hander is a ballpark single, 1-15, but that's a 20, so they got a bad break there. So that's going to be a ground ball to short. 1 away, so you would think getting a result off the Fenway Park ballpark section would be good for the hitter, but not when you roll a D20. That's a 20. Here's Marty Barrett hitting .320 on the replay. No homers, 19 driven in. He hit .293 real world. I don't know why I rolled the D20 there. Nobody's on base. 2-7, and that is a ground ball to third. So 2 up, 2 down, 2 ground balls. And it brings up Wade Boggs. Boggs hitting .352 on the replay. 12 homers, 34 driven in. He hit .363 real world. That's a 1-2 against the lefty. That's a Lomax with injury. So how about that? A Lomax to second base. Snagged by Gantner. And now on a 1-7, on a 1-6, Boggs can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to come out. So Boggs will exit this game as he hit the Lomax with injury. And they will have to bring in Ed Romero to play third base. Ed Romero. Well, they could use Glenn Hoffman, but Ed Romero is a much better defensive third baseman and probably a better hitter, too. Now, Hoffman's only a 200 hitter, so it's going to be Ed Romero taking over for Boggs due to the injury. And he is a 3E8. So we'll keep an eye on that 3E8 for Romero. He will take over at third base in the second inning for the injured Wade Boggs. So we go to the second inning. 1-0 Brew Crew. Fenway faithful a little on edge after that injury. But stuff happens, as they say. Top of the second we go. Billy Joe Robideau will step up for the Brew Crew. First baseman. Greg Brock still on the shelf. So Robideau is hitting .250 on the replay. No homer, 6 driven in. He at 194 real world. 5-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Barrett, 2E11. 215 is good. E11, second base, E11 and a 12 at second base. Second base, E11, there is no 12 there. 15, 17, and 18 are the only errors. So nice play for Barrett. One down for Felder. Felder hitting 317 on the replay. No homers, 4 driven in. He at 286 real world, or 266, I think. Yeah, 266 real world. 5-8, switch hitter batting left, and that's a 1-11 double. And it's going to be a 1-out double for Mike Felder. Double for Felder. We'll bring up Jimmy Gantner. Gantner hitting 287 on the replay. 3 homers, 21 driven in. He at 272 real world. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Marty Barrett, again, is a 2E11. 2-1, that's going to get through for a base hit. 2-1 is a single, but only 1 star. Runner goes to third. That's a 7, and no error there. So it's just going to be a single 1 star. It's going to put runners on the corners with 1 out for Dale Swain. So that double dive strikes again. And the Red Sox playing back for the double play for Dale Swain. Swain hitting 332 on the replay, 15 homers, 45 driven in. He at 252 real world. Gantner not being held at first. 3-2, and that's a home run. Didn't matter where they played. That is long, and that is gone from Dale Swain. 3-2 is a solid home run. Dale Swain on the actual season hit 25 home runs. On the replay, that is home run number 16 for him. A 3-run shot. And the Brewers are already starting to blow this game open. 4-0 now in favor of the Brew Crew. 3-run homer for Dale Swain, best number 9 hitter in the league. Sellers may not be around too much longer in this game. Here's Paul Molitor. 5-11, that's a ballpark single, which is good for the hitter, and he gets that base hit. So Molitor singles. He'll be looking to get a lead. He needs a 4, 5, or 6 to obtain a good lead. Doesn't get it, he'll hold, and here comes Robin Yount. 210 for Yount, and that's a single 1-15, but that's an 18, so he's going to line it to Spike Owen for out number 2. So Boston catches at least a little bit of a break with the D20 on that one. Here's Cecil Cooper in an RBI single his first time up. Molitor still at first, and 2 outs. 6-10, and that's a ground ball third base X. We're looking at the new third baseman, Ed Romero, who's a 3E8. 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7 should be okay, you would think. Yep, it's a G3 pound, but he's not holding anybody on as a third baseman, so we don't have to worry about that. 10, and he is an E11 at third base. And there is no 10 there. So Romero will make, I'm sorry, he's E8 at third base. My bad, E8. Still no 10 there, so good play for Romero, and that will end the inning. But the 3-run home run, courtesy of Dale Swain, puts the Brew Crew up 4-0 over the Red Sox. And Nieves given a nice bit of run support to work with. He'll be facing Rice, Baylor, and Evans. Tomorrow we'll be at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore for the Orioles against the Yankees. Here's Rice. Rice to lead off for the Red Sox. And on the replay, Rice is hitting 267, 5 homers, 32 driven in. He at 277 real world. We get a 1-7, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Nieves. Rice down on strikes. Here comes Don Baylor, the designated hitter. Baylor hitting 241, 6 homers, 35 driven in. He hit 245 real world. 1-9, and that's a line out to second base. That is out number 2. And here comes Dwight Evans. Evans is hitting 357, 17 homers, 53 driven in. He hit 305 real world. 6-8, and that's going to be a 1-7 double. But that's a 20, so he settles with a single. First hit of the game for the Red Sox is a 2-out single from Evans. He's no threat to run, especially down 4-0. And here's Benzinger. He is only had 7 at-bats since being called up, but he's doing very well. He's hitting 429 in those 7 at-bats. He did hit 278 real world. That's more gauging more of his talent. 3-8, and that's a base on balls. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the left. I was looking at the right side. He's against the lefty, so it's actually going to be a single. So Benzinger with another base hit. Single is the right field. Let's see if I'm not sure if it's worth the risk for Evans to try to go to third or not. He's a 12, not being held is a 13. 2 outs makes him a 15. The throw from right field to third base is 2 more, which makes him a 17. Deer, a -2 arm, makes him a 15. He'll go ahead and go there. And the Brewers, with a 4-0 lead, will hit the cutoff man to keep Benzinger at first base. They don't want second and third. They'll deal with first and third with 2 outs, but they don't want second and third where a base hit can score 2 runs. So Benzinger could get a lead, but down 4-0, they're not going to try any stolen bases. So it's up to Spike Owen in a clutch situation. Owen against a lefty in the clutch gains 1 hit, 2-5. That's it. So Owen on the replay hitting 230, a homer, 8 driven in. He hit 259 real world. That's a 1. So we're looking at a wild pitch on Nieves, which is a 4. There's no wild pitch, so swing away. 3-4, and that's going to be a triple, 1-14, but a double on a 20. So Spike Owen will double. We know it's going to score Evans from third, obviously. Benzinger was being held, makes him a 13, but 2 outs makes it a 15. The double goes to center, which is a +2 here for a 17. So they will allow the runner to score and hold the runner at second base. So a 2-run double off the bat of Spike Owen cuts the lead to 4-2. And here's Mark Sullivan in a clutch situation. Sullivan on the replay hitting 165, 2 homers, 12 driven in, at 169 real world. In the clutch against the lefty, loses a couple of hits, 3-6 and 3-10. 3-6, he just got that anti-hit, anti-clutch, so he takes the hit away. It's going to be a pop-up to short. That would have been a single. But when you play the clutch, which we do, when you play the clutch and you get that omega symbol right there that starts out with a base hit and it has an omega symbol right there, that changes that single into an out. So he will pop it up to short as an anti-clutch to end the inning. But the Red Sox do get 2 runs at least and cut into that lead. At the end of 2 complete, it is Milwaukee 4 and Boston 2. Now that brings up Rob Deere, B.J. Surhoff, and Billy Joe Robideau for the Brewers as we start the top of the third. Deere struck out his first chance. 2-3, and he's going to strike out again. Second strikeout for Sellers. Both of them have been Rob Deere. Here's B.J. Surhoff. Surhoff flew to right first chance. 2-4, and that's a ground ball to first. Easy play for Evans, 2 down. So maybe Sellers getting a bit of boost from the fact that his team finally scored him some runs. Here's Robideau. 5-8, and that's going to be a base hit single for Robideau. 2-out single for Robideau. He is not any threat to run at all. Here's Felder. Doubled his first time up, did Felder. It's a 6-5 switch hitter, and that's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the third. It is 4-2 Brew Crew ahead of the Red Sox on this Tuesday, June 23rd, 1987 date, but of course Monday in 2026 in late April in the real world. All right, here's Ellis Burks back to the top of the order for Burks. Burks, his first time up, grounded to short. 4-11, and that's going to be a ground ball to first. With the C there, that means Robideau had to go get it and flip to Nieves covering for a 3-1 put out and out number 1. Here's Marty Barrett. 5-8, and that's going to be a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Nieves. And here's Ed Romero, his first time up since coming in for the injured Boggs. Romero, let's get his numbers on the replay and the real season for Romero. Romero on the replay hitting .319, no homers, 10 driven in. He hit .272 real world. 4-8, and that's going to be a strikeout. Third strikeout for Nieves, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. And now we go to the top of the fourth. It's a 4-2 ball game. Brew Crew in the lead. Due up for the Brew Crew, it'll be Jim Gantner, Dale Swain, and Mahler, where Swain had the 3-run home run his first time up. Gantner, what seemed to be a somewhat innocent single, but turned out to be not so innocent. 5-8, and that's a boy, they've gotten Sellers on this 5-8 result several times. It's a base hit. 2 for 2 for Gantner. Gantner now has a chance to get the lead, needs a 7. Doesn't get it, he'll hold. But that's the 8th hit already for the Brew Crew. Here's Swain. 3-7 for Swain, struck him out. That's the third strikeout. Third strikeout for Sellers. One down. And that will take us to Paul Mahler, top of the order. Mahler has doubled and singled. 2 for 2 in this game. 110, and that's going to be another single. So he is 3 for 3. Gantner, being held, makes him a 12. The single went to left field, so there's no way in the world he's trying for third. He will just plop himself right at second base. First and second, 1 out for Robin Yount. Robin Yount. 4-7, and that's going to be a base on balls, and all of a sudden the bases are loaded and more trouble for Jeff Sellers. That is the first walk for Sellers. It's going to load the bases with 1 out for Cecil Cooper. Good morning, Robert. And yes, coffee is right here. And that is good coffee. Bases loaded, 1 out. They're going to play for the double play on Cecil Cooper. Playing back at double play depth. 5-7. Ground ball, second base X. They've got a chance for it. Barrett's a 2E11. Could be a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. But a 4 might thwart that. A 2 and a 4 is actually only going to be the only play is going to be at first base, but the infield is playing back. Had they been playing in, that would have been a base hit with that pound. So good thing they were playing back and not in. That would have been a single 2 stars. As it is, they'll at least get the out. They'll give up the run, but they'll at least get the out. But you also got to worry about a 16 there for an error. And let's see, Barrett is an E11, second base. There's a 15, 17, and 18, but no 16. So he avoids the error. But the run will score. It's going to go 4-3. It's like a ground ball C, as it turns out. So it's an RBI ground out for Cooper. Gantner will score. Mulder will take third, and Yount will take second. And that is the second run batted in of the game for Cooper, 27th on the season. And that gives the Brew Crew now a 5-2 lead. 2 outs, runners at second and third. Clutch situation for Mr. Deere. He is in the clutch. He is actually going to gain 1 hit on a 3-2, but that's it. He's 0 for 2, struck out twice. 3-10, and that's a ballpark single. Is going to override the strikeout. So he gets a base hit because of that. So instead of striking out, Fenway Park gives him a single. It's an RBI single, 1 star. Yount goes to third, keeps the inning going, and puts a run across the board. It is now 6-3 Brewers. And Sellers may not be around too much longer in this game. I think the Red Sox, McNamara, as far as their starting pitcher goes, they are sellers and not buyers. They're not buying what Sellers is selling. They're going to get rid of him. But they want to try to get him out of the inning, I guess. Here's Sir. Oh, we got hop and dice. We're going to re-roll that. 6-9, and that's a fly to right field to finally end the inning, but that's going to do it for Sellers. He's done. He's going to go 4 innings and give up 6 runs, all of which were earned. Going to give up 10 hits. Going to walk 1 and strike out 3. So a very hideous line there for Jeff Sellers. And the Red Sox have work to do. They're down 6-2 against a pretty tough pitcher in Juan Nieves. So it'll be Jim Rice to lead it off. 2-6 for Rice. He's going to ground it to Swain at short, 1 away. Oh, I think I put that wrong on the computer. Let me fix that. I want to make sure I've got it right. Sometimes you hit those keys too fast. There we go. All right, now here is Don Baylor. Baylor lined out to Gantner in his first attempt. 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball pitcher B. Doesn't matter, nobody's on base, so just a ground ball right back to Nieves. 1 away. Or 2 away, actually. For Dwight Evans. Evans singled and scored his first time up. 112, that's a Lomax, and that's going to end the inning. Nobody else is on base, so no double plays or anything. And fortunately for him, no injury check. Boggs already fell to the injury check, so that's going to do it for the Red Sox. They go 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 5th, and the Red Sox will need a new pitcher. Like I said, Gardner is unavailable. He went 3 innings yesterday, so they got to find somebody else to give him some length. So we go to the Red Sox bullpen. They do have Tom Bolton. He can go 3 innings. Steve Crawford can go 3 innings. So it's between those two. Let's see who's coming up for the Brewers. We got Robideau. They got some lefties coming up, so they're going to go with Tom Bolton. Tom, don't call me Michael Bolton. And the best part of waking up is not having Folgers in your cup. It's having Javelia in your cup. That's just a side thing here with Bolton doing the coffee commercial. If you remember, he was singing the jingle for Folgers. Not Tom Bolton, but Michael Bolton. All right, so we go to the bullpen with the Red Sox to bring in Tom Bolton. Pretty well rested. So Bolton on the real season was 1-0 with a 4.38 ERA and no saves. On the replay, he is 0-0 with no saves and a 5.02 ERA. 29 innings pitched, 39 hits, 11 walks, and 24 strikeouts. And his hold is a -1. Not that may not matter with the score being what it is, but write it down there anyway. And Billy Joe Robideau leads it off. That's a 5-5, and that is a 1-14 single. So a base hit. Even the lefty-lefty matchup didn't help him, as the Brewers brought their hitting shoes. That's hit number 11 already. Here's Felder. Of course, Robideau not going to be held at first base. That's a 1, so now I'm going to go to the computer and get Bolton's wild pitch and balk ratings. Checking for a wild pitch. Wild pitch is a 10, balk's a 0. There's no wild pitch, so escape that. But I'll write down for future reference that 10 is his wild pitch chance, so I don't have to keep going back to it. 2-5 for Felder. Switch hitter, turn around bat, right-handed. Ground ball, shortstop B. It's a 6-4 fielder's choice. So 1 away. But now that Felder's on, he is looking to get a chance to steal. Catch a lead here. He needs a 6, 7, or 8 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it. He'll hold. And here comes Jim Gantner, another lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's a 4-4. That's not going to help Bolton either. 1-11 is a triple. That is a triple for Jim Gantner. He had no triples in the real season, so we're going to knock him down to a double. But by doing that, my house rule is by doing that, the base runners are all going to score, because as if it was a triple. I'm just taking the triple away from Gantner so he doesn't get one in real life they didn't have in the regular season. But it will be an RBI double from Jim Gantner. And that'll bring up Dale Swain. It is now 7-2. 1 away. Runner at second. Swain homered and struck out. 6-8. Switch hitter batting right-handed. He will strike out again. First strikeout for Bolton. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Molitor. Two 7 from Molitor. Fly ball to left. That's going to end the inning. But the RBI, what I call double from Jim Gantner to take that triple away. And the Brewers lead it 7-2. And by not giving him that triple, it did not affect the score of the game. Simply his statistics, because he was at third base and he would not have scored on a strikeout and flyout. So did not affect the scoring whatsoever. Here's Juan Nieves facing Benziger, Owen, and Sullivan, bottom of the order. 1-8, and that's a solid single for Todd Benziger. He's 2 for 2. He's off to a torrid start since being called up. And with the score being 7-2, Red Sox are not going to try to take any leads or do anything like that. Not down by that many runs. Here's Spike Owen. 5-7, and that's a single to right field. But they are playing station to station. Down 5 runs, you don't want to make any outs on the base pass. Here's Mark Sullivan. Would love to pinch hit for Mark Sullivan, but it's not the 7th inning yet. 6-7, and it's a ground ball second base X. Chance for Gantner. Possible double play ball here. Gantner is a 2E14. 2-2, though. Double die shows up again. 2-2. That's a single for Sullivan. That's a 6. No error on the 6. I don't believe. E14. No, there's no 6 there. But it's going to be a single that loads the bases. So how about that? 3 singles in a row have loaded the bases with nobody out. And now the top of the order, Ellis Burke. So don't look now. The Red Sox are trying to fight their way back into this game. Brewers playing back for the double play. They need outs. 4-8 and a strikeout. That's one way to get an out. That is the 4th strikeout for Nieves. Big one to get there. And that'll bring up Marty Barrett. I just noticed something on the Strat computer that they could improve. Not that they, I mean, there's like 18,000 things they could improve. But on the manual entry, there are 4 commands in the manual entry that start with the letter S. Single, sacrifice, strikeout, stolen base. So those are like the hotkeys. S is the hotkey for that. My suggestion to them for strikeouts, make the K be the hotkey. That way I'm not having to cycle through all the S's to get to strikeout. I can just hit K and it brings the strike up out right away. That's just my sidebar thing that I would like to see happen. But it'll never happen because it's Strat, and Strat's going to do what Strat's going to do. They're not going to worry about what people say. They're going to do what they want to do. Morning World's Worst. So anyway, just my side editorial there. It would be nice because actually when I went to put in that strikeout, I instinctively pressed the K button by a mistake. And that prompted me to think, man, that would be nice to do that instead of having to scroll through all the S's. But anyway, that's another topic for another time, I guess. All right, so bases are still loaded with 1 out for Marty Barrett. Barrett 0 for 2 in this game. Infield still looking for the double play. That's a 2-5, and they'll get it. The Giovanni's Tailor Shop strikes again. 2-5 is a ground ball shortstop A. That is a 6-4-3 double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play, 6-4-3. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Be sure to check them out. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of this channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play of the game. And the Red Sox load the bases with nobody out and cannot score. A strikeout and a double play takes care of that. And that's the kind of day it's been for the Red Sox, apparently. For the day it's going to be the rest of the way. Top of the 6th we go, and Tom Bolton will be back out to face Robin Yount, Cooper, and Deere. 2-11, and that's a line out to third. Right to Romero, 1 away. Here's Cooper. .611, that's a ground ball shortstop X. Spike Owen, 3-17. Should be usually pretty reliable. 3-9, should get to that. He does. That's a 6, and he is an E17. There's no 6 there, so Spike Owen makes that play. 2 up, 2 down. And that'll bring up Rob Deere. Deere 1 for 3 now with a single. Last at bat. 3-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to short, and that'll do it. So Tom Bolton, a very easy 6th inning. But Red Sox still trail at 7-2, and they had one of their best opportunities to make it closer last inning and blew it. So doesn't bode well for the rest of the game. But you're in Fenway Park, and supposedly a game is never over at Fenway Park. Rumor has it. Here's Nieves, and this is his fatigue inning, number 6, so we'll keep an eye on that. It'll be Romero, Rice, and Baylor. It's a 5-11, and Romero, ground ball pitcher X to Nieves. He is a 3 E38. He's an E38 with a 3. 3 and an 8. Should be okay, I would think. Yep, G3 is okay. It's checked to the error. E38, and that's a 10. E38, the 10 is right there. When you start getting 10s as errors, you know you're a bad fielder. So that's an E1 on Juan Nieves. Romero will reach. First error of the game on either team. Romero's aboard for Jim Rice. 1-3, and that's a ground ball second base. Hey, it's another Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play. This one 4-6-3. Second double play in a row. Talk about your rally killers. They are. So 2 quick outs. Base is empty now for Don Baylor. 6-5, and he struck him out. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. 5th strikeout for Nieves. He's got endurance into the 7th. We go to the top of the 7th with the score still 7-2. B.J. Surhoff, the batter. There will be a 7th inning stretch because I do need to heat my coffee. No question about it. B.J. Surhoff is 0 for 3. 4-6, that's a single. First hit of the game for Surhoff. Why not? Everybody else is getting a hit. That is base hit number 13 for the Brewers. Again, with the score being what it is, they're not going to try to do any stolen bases or anything, so they'll just play it station to station. Here's a Robideau. That's a 3-7, and he struck him out. 1 away for Mike Felder. Six 4, and that's a ground ball third base X for Romero. 3-8 for Romero. 3-9, probably a fielder's choice if I had to guess without looking. 3-9. Actually, no, it's a runner advance. It's going to be only play at first base. That's a 10, no error on the 10, but it will be a only play is to first base kind of thing. Going to second is Surhoff on the ground out. Now there's 2 away. Still considered a clutch situation for Jim Gantner, where he loses a hit on 110. That's a 2-4, and that's going to be a pop-up to second base. That will end the inning. So Bolton staying strong. He's gone 3 innings. Looks like they're going to bring him back for the top of the 8th as well. He's still got some juice left in him. We go to the 7th inning stretch, and I will take a 7th inning stretch break as my coffee has gotten lukewarm, and I'd like to have it warm for the rest of the game. Plus, I can use a little stretch break, wouldn't hurt. When you get old, that happens. All right, so Nieves will be back out when we come back, and he'll be facing Evans, Benziger, and Owen for the Red Sox. So we'll take a quick 2-minute break, basically. I think it's about what it's going to amount to. It's about a 2-minute break as I set up the take me out to the ball game, the long version, so there's not silence while I'm away. So 7th inning stretch time. Brewers lead at 7-2 here at Fenway, and we'll be right back after the 7th inning stretch. All right, seventh inning stretch break is complete. And now we're ready to venture on into the bottom of the seventh. Coffee has been refreshed. And we will begin the bottom of the seventh with Dwight Evans, your leadoff man. 3-8, and he struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Nieves. 1 away. And not Ellis Burks. What's Ellis Burks doing up there? He got out of order real quick there, didn't he? Don't want to be caught for batting out of turn. It's actually Benzinger, who's 2 for 2. 4-8. Not this time. He struck him out. So Nieves, since reaching his fatigue inning, he has struck out 3 in a row. So done pretty well for himself. Here is Spike Owen. 6-8, switch hitter batting right. That's a base hit for Owen. It'll be a single. 2-out single for Owen. Now, do you even bother? Because Sullivan did get a hit last time, so we'll go ahead and let Sullivan hit. We get a 4-8, and he's going to strike out. So Nieves strikes out the side. And through 7 innings, the Brewers seemingly in control, 7-2. Tomorrow's game will be from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles. That will be tomorrow. I believe it's Rick Rhoden and Mark Williamson for the Orioles. Williamson coming out of the bullpen to make one of his 2 starts that he made in real world against the veteran Rick Rhoden. All right, here's Tom Bolton facing Swain. 4-6, and that's a base hit for Swain. And now the Red Sox might want to get their bullpen going because Bolton might be running out of gas. Here's Molitor. To 1-9, and that's a single 2 stars. That'll put runners on the corners. Of course, Molitor is not going to try to steal with the score being what it is. They'll hold off. They'll call off the dogs on that. Infield for the Red Sox playing back for the double play. They need outs. 2-6, and they don't get either one. They get they get a single on the double die being a 2. They couldn't get the line out. They got the single. It's an RBI single. And the Brewers now take an 8-2 lead. And that is the 16th hit. And now Tom Bolton has reached fatigue according to the computer. So the Red Sox do have activity in their bullpen. They're going to let him face Cooper, the lefty, but after that, they're going to the right-hander, Steve Crawford. So Crawford will be ready after this at bat. They will let Bolton face Cooper since it's lefty-lefty. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X, potential double play. Barrett 2E11. Oh, that one die didn't go through. Good thing because the double die was only a 3. So let's try this again. Double die's an 18, but that's an 18. Boy, you get the double play ground ball you need, and then you roll an 18. Just the kind of day it's been for the Red Sox. And I think on an 18, just about everybody makes an error here. So Barrett E11. No difference. The 18 is right there. It's a 2-base error. And that will score Molitor. Yount will take third. And Cooper will reach on the 2-base error by Marty Barrett. Just the kind of game it's been for the Red Sox. And that'll do it for Bolton, and they will go to Steve Crawford out of the bullpen. Although you can't blame that one on Bolton. That one should have been made. So Crawford is on to pitch, and he'll be facing Deere and then Surhoff and Robideau. Still nobody out thanks to that error. So we go to the bullpen, and we'll do the totals on Bolton after the inning is over. But Steve Crawford making his way on from the Red Sox bullpen. In the real season, Crawford was 5-4 with a 5.33 ERA and no saves. On the replays, 3-4 with 2 saves and a 4.46 ERA. 36 innings pitched, 40 hits, 19 walks, 25 strikeouts. And he'll be facing Rob Deere with runners at second and third, nobody out. Infield is in for the Red Sox. Why not? 5-7, and that is a base on balls. So now the bases are loaded. And McNamara's pulling his hair out, whatever is left of it. His guys are walking people. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's Surhoff. They're playing back. They need outs. They want that double play. Try to get some outs here. 1-3, split. 1-2 is a single. The other one's a line out to second. So at least they get the line out with nobody advancing. Now a double play would get them out of the inning. If they can get Robideau to hit into the double play, they could get out of the inning. 4-11. 4-11 is a ground ball pitcher X. He's an E0. He's a 2 E0. So we'll roll this to make sure there's no rare play. And there is not. But he's a 2. So let's see what the G1 possibilities are for a double play. Let's see here. Well, I believe if it's hit to the pitcher, they're considered to be in. So let's see here. He is a 2 for a pitcher. So to get the G1, we're looking way down here at 13. 13 or higher to get that G1. 14, he does get the G1. So if I'm looking at the G1, let's flip the page here. G1, where are you? There you are. G1, but bases are loaded. Infield in. It's a double play, 1 to 3. That's how it's going to be scored. Easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 double play because the pitcher is considered to be playing in. So it is going to be a 1, 2, 3 double play, and realistically, that's probably the way they would go with that, is to go to the plate. So it's not a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play, but it serves its purpose. Meanwhile, the Brewers tack on 2 more runs and take a 9-2 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Nieves going to hang out for 1 more inning probably, facing Burks. Not a lot of drama left. 3-5, Fenway or no Fenway. 3-5 is a fly to center. 1 away. Can't always get close games, especially when you have good teams playing bad teams. You kind of have to expect it. Here's Barrett. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. Boy, Nieves has been hot with these strikeouts. His 9th strikeout. He may go for the complete game. I don't see why not. He's got a 9-2 lead. Why not give him a complete game? Here's Romero. 3-11. That's a ground ball to short. 1, 2, 3 innings. So he will definitely go for the complete game. No question about it. I forgot to get the numbers on Bolton, so let me do that before we start the 9th so I can close out Bolton's numbers on the day and get that tidied up logistically. Go to our box score. Crawford will finish out the game. They're not going to use a 4th pitcher. They're going to let Crawford finish it out. Bolton, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 were earned. No walks, 2 strikeouts. So, not a bad outing, not a good outing, not a bad outing. Could have had better defense behind him. That would have helped as well. So, due up, it will be Felder, Gantner, and Swain, bottom of the order for the Brew Crew, in what is a obvious blowout at 9-2. Pretty much the only drama left, if you even want to call it drama, is whether Nieves pitches a complete game or not. Crawford 2-8, and Felder gets a 1 for a triple, and anything else will be a single. But again, with the score being what it is, nobody's going to try to steal. Nobody's going to be held on. Just baseball courtesy or whatever you want to call it, that they're not going to, both teams are going to agree to do that. 3-8 for Gantner is a 1-8 single. That's a 12. He lines it to second. Here's Dale Swain. Four nine, switch hitter batting left. 4-9's a fly to center. Hauled in by Burks, 2 down. And Paul Milder, who is 4 for 5. He's going for a 5-hit game. I don't know if I ever had a 5-hit game before. I might have, I don't remember. 2-5, don't have to worry about he flew to center. So he's going to settle with a 4-hit game. So Crawford's going to go his 2 innings. And so despite giving up 9 runs and 17 hits, the Red Sox are going to only use 3 pitchers, which helps save the bullpen. So that means Sambito and Giraldi have had 2 games off in a row. They'll be well rested for the next game. We go to the box score, and Crawford goes 2 innings, gives up a hit, no runs, a walk, and no strikeouts. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Red Sox. It'll be Rice, Baylor, and Evans due up for Boston. See how much fight they have left in them. See if Nieves can pull out the complete game. 4-6, that's a walk. That's not going to help the cause. That's going to add to his fatigue total, make him fatigued faster. Here is Baylor. They do have Jay Aldrich loosening the bullpen just in case Nieves should falter. Here's Baylor. 4-6, and that's another walk. So back-to-back walks for Nieves. That might make him tired. He's very close to being tired. He's not tired yet, according to the computer. Here's Evans. Although Troublehorn's keeping a close eye. 5-4, and that is a fly ball center field X. That's Yount, 2E6 for Yount. 2 and a 7 should get to that. 2 and a 7 he does with an F2. That's a 10. I don't think that's going to be a problem. No, it's not. So fly ball to center, 1 away. Brings up Benzinger. Benzinger is 2 for 3. 1-9, and that's going to be a double, 1 or a single 2 stars. That's a single 2 stars, and that might be it for Nieves. They may have to pull the plug on this one. I think this will make him tired on the computer as well. And it does. So they didn't want to do it, but Troublehorn's going to make a motion to the bullpen. They really was hoping for the complete game, but they don't want it to ruin a good outing that he had. So he will come in. Jay Aldrich will come in to pitch for the Brewers. He will come in and mop up duty, facing Spike Owen, and then a pinch hitter for Sullivan, assuming Owen doesn't hit into a double play. So we'll go to the bullpen. Fenway crowd, the little bits that's left, is giving the golf clap in appreciation of a good outing for Juan Nieves. Aldrich, meanwhile, on the replay, in real world, was 3-1 with a 4.94 ERA and no saves. On the replay, he's 0-0 with an ERA of 2 and 1 save. 9 innings pitched, 7 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Runners at the corners, 1 out. They're going to play back for a double play. Spike Owen, your batter. 3-8 for Owen, and he look at that. Jay Aldrich comes in and faces Spike Owen, and on the very first play, he gets the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. 3-8. I don't think you could do much better as a relief pitcher than that. Look at it up close. That 3-8 is the ground ball shortstop A. On that 3-8 ground ball shortstop A, it's a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play to end the ball game. Kind of the way it's gone for the Red Sox. They do get a run across, but it's of little consolation. And the Brewers thumped the Red Sox by the score of 9-3. And we'll go to the box score and get the totals. So we need to total up Nieves' outing as well. For Juan Nieves, he's going to go 8 1/3 innings, and he's going to give up 8 hits and 3 runs, walk 2, strike out 9, and of course Aldridge 2/3 of an inning only faced one batter, so it wasn't much to go on there. 9 runs, 17 hits and an error for Milwaukee, 3 runs, 8 hits and an error for Boston. Winning pitcher is Nieves. He's 8-3. Loser is Sellers. He is 2-4. Home runs in the game. The only home run in the game was Swain, his 16th, a 3-run homer in the second that kind of put the Brewers ahead 4-0 to stay. And that's where we are after game 476 has been completed. Getting ready for tomorrow's game, it'll be the Yankees taking on the Orioles. Rick Rhoden against Mark Williamson. Doug Corbett has been called up to the bullpen for the Orioles, so they'll have him in the bullpen. Not this game, but the next game, June 24th, Don Mattingly will come back off the injured list. So this is the final game without Mattingly for the Yankees. So they're looking forward to that. But with this victory, Brewers inch even further ahead in the AL East. They're now 3.5 games ahead of Toronto, 8.5 ahead of Detroit and the Yankees. So Yankees need to win to keep pace tomorrow. We'll see how they do. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced 1987 style. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.